Relocating in the wild, especially when you're lost, can be dangerous. In the same vein, knowing how to predict the weather successfully can make all the difference. In a situation where time is of the essence, knowing what awaits you could greatly influence your decisions and prioritization. If you are lost, an essential skill is to orient yourself and find your way to safety. One method you can use to distinguish direction is to identify sun position, as long as it's visible. It can also help us to keep track of time. Remember that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. You can also use nature to help orient yourself. Look for moss on a tree trunk. Moss usually grows on the furthest side away from the sun. Spider webs are another marvel of nature, as they generally lie on the south side of trees. Although you should never travel in the dark, you can also use the North Star to get your bearings. The first step in doing this is to locate the Ursa Major, also known as the Big Dipper. It looks something like a big saucepan. From Ursa Major, you can locate Ursa Minor. Imagine a straight line up from the top star of the Ursa Major saucepan to locate the last star on the Ursa Minor saucepan's handle. Right there is the North Star. If you walk towards this star, you will be walking north. Remember that overcast or poor weather conditions may confuse you. What's more, the constellations are not always in the same place. Also, from June to October, Ursa Major lies very low in the sky. It may make it harder to identify. A final alternative is to create a compass. There are two principal techniques. The first with a stick and marking the shadow movements. The second with a metal pin. The traditional shadow stick technique follows the same principle as sundials. You'll need a large, flat, open space with no interfering shade, a 3-foot long stick, and another around 3.5 feet long. For markers, you can use rocks or branches. Sharpen the 3-foot stick and work it into the ground. Make sure it is very straight, as this will affect our results. Place one of your markers at the end of the shadow every 10 or 15 minutes. Your first marker will be your west point, and the last your east point. Once you have 5 in place, you can take the longest stick and line it up with your markers. It will show you clearly the east-west line, and you can use this to set off in the right direction. Whichever way you choose to move, help a rescue team find you by leaving a signal at your camp.